So my name is Joseph Bautista of Eskabo, Daan, Filipino martial arts. We are located in San Francisco Bay Area.
All right, so Joseph or Joe, you've been teaching for, you said 12 years now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say is like your style of teaching?
So my style of teaching, I guess, is the way I think. So it's, you know how you say you have to crawl before you walk before you run before you fly,
Right.
kind of a deal. I believe you have to learn the foundation, and you have to be able to learn the alphabet, so to speak. Once we get the alphabet, then we get the words, we create sentences, then we create poetry. And I always go back to, okay, let's make sure we don't forget how to read the basic words and identify the basic letters. Okay. So my thought process is to learn the basics, expand on it, review the basics, expand on that, review the basics, and just keep going back and forth that way.
Okay. All right. And then how do you think that affects your students? Sorry.
Yeah. So no, I believe it keeps people grounded, because I'm sure we've all seen our fair share of martial artists who only want to do advanced stuff, and they try to teach only advanced stuff to someone who has no coordination, doesn't know left from right, and you're trying to teach them that. It's like, well, I have a moral obligation to make sure that what I'm teaching you, you can use to defend yourself. Right? Now, I'll make it very clear, like, hey, this has a great success rate, probability-wise, whereas here, we're going to play around with this. It is doable, but you may not be able to do it off at a high probability rate yet, but maybe one day you can. So that's how I look at it.
So we all know as teachers, we don't teach the best way we learn, we teach the best way that our student learns.
Correct.
How does your thinking, how do you adapt that or mold that or change that if need be to any particular student that learns from a different method?
Yeah, so that's actually a really great question. So we devised a curriculum that has a base model, right? And I always tell people, hey, you know yourself better than I do, but I know the system better than you do. If you are more of a person that needs to read something to learn it, or you need to feel it, or you need to see it, let me know and I'll explain it that way and show it that way, right? And you know, everyone does learn differently, but I believe that our job is to make sure that you learn it the quickest way possible. That make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Okay, so now, what would you say is the most difficult thing about being a teacher?
Not being able to train yourself. Right. I mean, there is a saying that if you teach, you're learning twice, which is true. It's very true, but it's not. You don't get the same fulfillment. It's a different fulfillment. You don't get the same fulfillment as if you were in there for a couple hours training, right? But it is very worthwhile, because when you start seeing people go from ground zero to where they are now,
right,
it's very worthwhile.
So that was my next question. So what is the most satisfying thing about being a teacher?
To be able to see someone come in with very low self-esteem, worried about being beat up, right, and having that experience of being taken advantage of, to seeing them as empowered. Like, yeah, you know, they're willing to stand up for this. I'm not saying they're the best fighters, but I'm saying they're on their way to be able to have such great confidence. My name is Joseph Bautista of Eskabo, Daan, Filipino martial arts. You can find us at our website of www.eskabodaan.org. We also have a YouTube channel, a Twitter channel, Facebook. So just look up Eskabo, E-S-K-A, B as in boy, O, D as in dog, A-A, N as in Nancy. You'll find us.